Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into the sources, cut through the noise, and give you the answers you need. Today, we're tackling a big one in travel. All-inclusive resorts. You mentioned these at a party, and the room just divides, right? Half the people groan about, weak drinks and feeling trapped.
Yeah, and the other half, they swear by them. Ultimate convenience, zero stress, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So that's what we're diving into. We've got a whole stack of sources here. Reviews, travel blogs, cost breakdowns to get past the shiny brochures. What does all-inclusive really mean?
Right.
Our mission today, to lay it all out, the good, the bad, the hidden costs, so you can figure out if an AI resort actually makes sense for your trip, for your budget.
Okay, so let's get the big takeaway out first. Based on everything we looked at, all-inclusive resorts, they can be worth it big time. If, and this is a big if, you really value convenience, want your costs locked in up front, and plan to actually use everything that's included.
It's like you're paying a premium for not having to think, basically.
Yeah, peace of mind.
But flip side, if you're all about soaking up local culture, if finding amazing, authentic food is your main goal, or, honestly, if you just don't drink much alcohol, then probably not your best bet. You're buying into a very specific package.
Okay, let's break that package down. Segment 1. What does all-inclusive even promise? Because the name sounds amazing, but the details matter.
They really do. So the absolute basics, what you can pretty much always count on, your room, obviously. Meals, usually good buffets for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
Plus, typically access to maybe a few a la carte restaurants for dinner.
The fancy ones.
Right, the ones you need to book the second you arrive, basically.
Yeah.
They fill up fast.
Okay, what else? Drinks?
Drinks, yeah. Unlimited house wine, local beer, basic spirits, think rum, vodka, gin, that sort of thing. Basic cocktails, sodas, juices. And then you've got your standard activities. Pools, maybe a gym, some nightly shows, and usually non-motorized water sports.
Like kayaks, paddle boards,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Exactly. Stuff that doesn't need fuel or a special guide.
Right.
Oh, and kids clubs are often part of the deal too, which is huge for families.
Right, okay. But now the crucial part, what's not included. Because this is where people get stung with surprise bills, isn't it?
This is exactly where the all-inclusive dream can wobble. You might pay thousands up front, but they're definitely hoping you'll spend more once you're there.
So give us the common culprits. What costs extra?
Okay, number 1, premium dining. That fancy steakhouse on the property. The teppanyaki place, almost certainly extra. And top-shelf liquor.
So if I want Grey Goose instead of the house vodka.
You're paying extra. Same for imported beers or maybe a specific single malt scotch. That's usually an upcharge.
Makes sense. What about activities?
Anything with an engine, pretty much.
Okay.
Jet skis, scuba diving excursions, parasailing, those are usually run by outside companies, even if they're booked at the resort desk, and they cost extra. And the spa.
Oh, yeah. The spa's never included, is it?
Almost never. Massages, facials, anything like that, you'll pay resort prices, which are often quite inflated.
And then you mentioned something surprising earlier. Even room service might not be fully included.
Yeah, this one popped up in the research. Especially at maybe more budget-friendly or family-focused places, you might find a service charge or delivery fee for bringing that late-night burger to your room, even though the food itself is technically part of the package.
Wow, okay. Sneaky.
And speaking of costs that sneak up on you, tipping. This is huge.
Right, because it says all-inclusive, but in places like the Caribbean.
Exactly. In the Caribbean, Mexico.
Yeah.
Tipping the bartenders, the waiters, housekeeping, the bellhops, it's really expected. It's part of the culture, part of how they make a living.
So why don't resorts just build that in, like a service charge, like on a cruise? It seems weird to call it all-inclusive and then expect you to shell out cash all week.
Well, it keeps the advertised price lower, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a marketing thing partly. Plus, maybe some complex labor rules. But the sources were clear. Not tipping feels awkward, and some travelers felt it actually impacted the service they got. And the estimates suggest this can easily add, $300, maybe more, to a week's trip for 2 people? That's not small change.
Definitely not. And another layer here, all-inclusive means different things in different parts of the world.
Oh, absolutely. You can't assume the massive, sprawling resort experience in Cancun is what you'll get in, say, Greece or Spain.
How is it different in Europe, then?
It's often lighter. Maybe it's an existing hotel that's added an AI package. It might just cover buffet meals and maybe local wine or beer during those meals, but not like 247 access to everything.
Why the difference?
Probably a mix of things. Labor costs, the existing culture of dining out, the way hotels are structured. In the Caribbean, these resorts were often purpose-built as all-inclusives. In Europe, it's more like an add-on sometimes.
The key takeaway, read the fine print for your specific resort. Don't assume.
Got it. Okay, so that's the breakdown of what you get and what you don't. Let's flip to the positives now in segment 2. When is AI a genuine bargain? The big appeal seems to be knowing your costs up front. That's huge for a lot of people. Paying one price and knowing, okay, my lodging, food, drinks, basic fun, it's covered. It takes a lot of the stress out of vacation budgeting. And often the package deals, especially with flights and transfers included, can offer serious savings.
Yeah, you mentioned an example.
Right, one analysis found a package flights, transfers, 7 nights AI for around $3,400 Canadian. Pricing it all out separately, over $6,000. That's the power of bundling.
Wow. Okay, so who benefits most from that bundled price? Who's really maximizing the value?
Well, definitely people who enjoy having drinks throughout the day or who like to snack a lot.
Mhm.
If you're having cocktails by the pool, wine with dinner, maybe a nightcap, that adds up fast outside an AI. Here, it's included. No nickel and diming.
Right, you're not constantly thinking, oh, another $15 for this cocktail.
Exactly. And families. Families came up again and again in the sources.
Why family specifically?
Think about picky eaters. Buffets usually have something for everyone. No stress finding a restaurant everyone agrees on. Plus, endless snacks and drinks on demand. That avoids the I'm hungry meltdowns. And saves you from paying like $10 for a juice box at a corner store.
True. And the activities.
Yeah, if you're someone who will actually use the included paddle boards, join the yoga class, watch the nightly show, you're getting entertainment value without opening your wallet again. Those things cost money if you pay a la carte.
So let's try to put some rough numbers on this, excluding flights, just comparing accommodation, food, drinks, basic activities for 2 people for a week.
Okay, super rough estimates based on the data we saw. The AI package might be around $2,500.
Okay.
Now try doing that separately. Decent hotel, maybe $1,200.
Yeah.
Eating out 3 meals a day, plus drinks. Easily $1,000, probably more in a tourist zone. Add a few basic activities, say $700. You're already well over $3,000.
And even an Airbnb trying to cook yourself.
Still might hit $2,100 or more once you factor in groceries, maybe eating out sometimes, and paying for activities separately. Plus, the time and effort of cooking on vacation.
Right. So AI often wins on price, especially in those beach spots where restaurants near the hotels can be really expensive.
Exactly. And the other big pro, which is less about money and more about feel,
Yeah.
it's just easy.
Ultimate relaxation.
Yeah. For people who genuinely just want to switch off, read by the pool, not make decisions, it's perfect. You don't need a plan. You just drift from your room to the buffet to the beach. Zero stress.
Okay, but that ease comes at a cost for some people. Let's get into the cons in segment 3. Where does the AI model fall short?
The biggest one, consistently, is authenticity. If you want to feel like you're in the country you're visiting, AI resorts often create a barrier. They're designed to be self-contained bubbles.
Right, you could be anywhere almost. The local culture gets kind of sanitized, like a theme night.
Pretty much. A weekly Mexican fiesta night doesn't really immerse you in local life. The resort environment is, by design, separate from the surrounding town or community. If exploring local markets, finding hidden gem restaurants, just wandering, if that's your travel style, AI actively works against it.
And the location often plays into that, right? These places need a lot of space.
They do, so they're often built quite far from actual towns or city centers. Suddenly, popping out for an hour to explore requires a potentially expensive taxi ride or figuring out infrequent local buses.
You mentioned some examples of that travel time adding up.
Yeah, one traveler mentioned a €50 round-trip taxi just to get to the nearest town from their resort in Egypt. Another calculated they lost almost 2 full vacation days on an 8-day trip just due to the super long multi-stop airport shuttle transfer included in their package.
Ouch. So the convenience of the transfer actually cost them valuable time.
It can, yeah. And this leads to probably the most common complaint we saw, the food.
Ah, the infamous buffet quality. Why is it often mediocre?
It's the challenge of mass production. Think about feeding hundreds, maybe thousands of people, 3 times a day. They have to use large-scale suppliers, food often sits under heat lamps, and crucially, they're trying to cater to a very broad international palate.
The lowest common denominator effect.
Exactly. It often leads to dishes that are fine but bland, repetitive, not particularly adventurous or, authentically local.
So even in Mexico, the tacos might taste like they came from a generic hotel chain anywhere in the world.
That was a specific comment we saw, yeah. Even at nicer resorts, the local dishes can feel a bit watered down, lacking that specific regional flavor you'd get at a real local taqueria. The focus is on safe and acceptable, not necessarily amazing or authentic.
And all this, the isolation, the potentially repetitive food, the limited environment, it leads to that feeling some people get after a few days.
The cabin fever.
Yeah. The resort that looked like paradise on day one suddenly starts to feel a bit small, a bit samey. If you're someone who thrives on variety and spontaneity, that feeling of being confined can be a major drawback.
Definitely. So, okay, knowing the pros and cons, how do we tailor this? Segment 4. Matching the choice to the traveler. Who does AI work best for?
Well, groups and families seem like a clear win.
Absolutely. It takes away so many logistical headaches. No splitting dinner bills, built-in entertainment for different ages, kids clubs, giving adults a break. It simplifies group travel immensely.
But what about non-drinkers? That seems like a tough equation. You're paying for alcohol you're not consuming.
You really are. That price has the alcohol cost baked right in, maybe $40 or more per person per day.
Huh.
That's just evaporating, value-wise, for you.
So what's the advice there? Just avoid AI altogether.
Not necessarily. The key is to look for resorts that offer strong non-alcoholic value. Maybe places focused on wellness, with included fitness classes or spa credits, or resorts known for amazing mocktails, fresh juice bars, really good coffee. Like one source praised the options at Lave Aqua in Cancun. You need to find other ways to get your money's worth.
Okay, what about couples looking for romance?
Adults-only AI resorts can be fantastic for this. They offer that quiet, stress-free environment. Often they have special packages, private dinners, couples massages, that sort of thing. It's about easy reconnection without logistical hassles.
And finally, the culture seeker. Is there ever a case for AI?
It's tricky. If your primary goal is deep cultural immersion, probably not. But you could use an AI strategically, maybe if the destination is mostly about beaches and relaxation anyway, or if you want a comfortable base for a few specific planned excursions.
Like using the resort as a launch pad, but making sure you actually leave it.
Exactly. You have to be intentional about booking those day trips, those guided tours. Otherwise, the resort bubble can easily just suck you in. It really depends on the destination, too. Is it mainly a fly-and-flop beach place, or does it have rich history and culture just outside the gates?
Makes sense. Okay, segment 5. Let's say you've decided AI is right for you. How do you maximize that investment? Squeeze out every drop of value.
First, timing. Interestingly, the sources suggest the sweet spot for an AI stay isn't super long, maybe 3 to 5 nights.
Really? Why shorter?
It seems to be the Goldilocks zone. Less than 3 nights feels rushed, like you can't use everything.
Yeah.
More than 5, and that cabin fever, the repetition, can start to set in for many people. 3 to 5 nights lets you hit the highlights, try the specialty restaurants, use the water sports, see the shows before it gets old.
Okay, practical tips for arrival. What's the first thing you should do?
Book the a la carte restaurants immediately, like before you even go to your room if possible. They have limited spots, and they are your escape route from potential buffet fatigue.
Good one. What else?
Recon the buffet. Don't just pile your plate at the first station. Do a full walkthrough. See where the carving station is, the fresh omelet bar, the good stuff that might be hidden at the back. Avoid filling up on bread and pasta before you find the gems.
Ha! Buffet strategy. Love it.
And use everything that's included, especially the stuff you might not normally pay for. Try the salsa lesson, go kayaking, join the water aerobics, hit the mixology class. If it's part of the package, using it adds to your perceived value. And check the daily activity schedule. Don't miss out on something cool that only happens once.
Makes total sense. Get your money's worth.
And we have to talk about the chairs.
Ah, yes. The infamous 6.00 AM Sun Chair Stampede. It's real.
Oh, it's very real. Especially at popular resorts during peak season. There are often fewer prime loungers, the ones with shade, near the pool bar, than there are guests who want them.
So you literally have to get up at dawn to claim your spot with a towel.
Pretty much. The pro tip seems to be, get up early, put your towel or book down to claim your preferred spot, maybe grab an early coffee, and then you can relax, go back for a nap, or wait for breakfast. If you wander down at 10 a.m. looking for shade, good luck. You'll be in the back 40.
Yeah, the things we do for convenience. Okay, let's wrap this up. Outro time. What's the final verdict here?
Well, pulling it all together, the core message is clear. All-inclusive resorts deliver significant value if your priorities are ease, predictability, and just. Not having to think too much about logistics or spending once you arrive.
That convenience factor is the real product.
Exactly. But If your travel soul craves flexibility, authentic experiences, amazing local food, and really connecting with the place you're visiting, then the AI model is likely going to feel restrictive, maybe even disappointing.
It really comes down to knowing your own travel style, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The best vacation is the one that fits you.
So let's leave our listeners with one final thought, something to chew on.
Okay, think about this concept, the hassle tax. We talked about the monetary cost, comparing AI to booking separately. But what's a value you place on not having to research restaurants every night, not arguing over where to eat, not tracking every dollar spent on drinks or snacks?
The mental load cost.
Exactly. If you put a price on that peace of mind, on removing all that daily decision-making friction, does that alone make the all-inclusive model worth it for you, even if the pure dollar cost isn't dramatically lower? That hidden value, the cost of hassle, might be the biggest factor of all.